Okay, there is another type of selector you can, it's called a mixed selector, and this is where CSS starts to get a little bit confusing because you can create combinations of selectors. So we've talked about tag selectors, class selectors, and ID selectors. Well, here's a combination. I can have one that looks like this, and then I'll set the color equal to yellow, I guess. There we go. So here's my rule set. Now what I've got here is what's called a mixed selector. It starts with a tag selector and it also has a class selector. So what this means is you're specifically targeting div tags that have a class of warning. So a regular div tag that has no attributes will not get this color applied to it. So in this case we're targeting div elements that have a class attribute set to warning. So you can be real specific when you start using these mixed selectors. Now let me show you something else here. There's a difference here. Well, I'll do it right here. I'm going to put a space right here. Now I've just altered this selector by putting that space right there. What this means, when you see the space there, that means that you're targeting anything that has a warning of class that's nested inside of a div. So any children of a div element that have a class of warning. So let's see what the HTML might look like for that. So I'm just going to put a div tag here, and then inside of the div I'll put a B element, and I'll set its class equal to warning here. Now that would match the selector. So when you see the space here that separate the parts of the selector, that means that you're looking for children of this thing, children of div elements that have this class setting. So like I said, CSS is pretty easy to learn, but these selectors can get to be pretty crazy and confusing, and you can see mixed selectors that have all sorts of different selectors within them. So that's where CSS gets a little messy. So here's a common one that you'll see a lot. We'll start a new rule set here, and the selector is going to look like this: UL space LI, and I'll just set the background color to what's a color I haven't used yet? Salmon. That's another color. We're going to talk about colors in CSS pretty soon here. Anyways, so this selector is a mixed selector, and what it's doing is it's setting the background color of all LI elements that are nested within UL elements, and it's setting their background color to salmon, which is kind of a pink color. Now what this means is that if I had an OL, an ordered list on my page, the list items within it wouldn't get this background color. It would only be applied to LI elements that are nested within UL elements. Okay, so I'm just very quickly going to put in an unordered list so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to put it right here. So I just quickly typed in an unordered list right here, and we should see when we refresh this page in the browser, we should see that the background color is salmon here. So I'm going to do Control S to save it. I'm going to Alt Tab over to the browser and hit refresh. And did I not save it? I didn't save it like I thought I did. Control S, there we go. And I'll refresh now. And there you go. There's our list items within an unordered list that have the salmon background color.